What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Live, episode 58. I am Alex, this is Ange, and this is our conversational show where two people come to this table, decorated, almost the right season. We're getting there.
I still need to get a tablecloth every time.
For Christmas. If you had me for our Secret Santa, you can do that. No, that's an easy gift. I mean, you don't have to think about it. But you know how I like creativity, so you'll have to maybe do something else along with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So what is this? Again, this is exactly what we just said.
I just thought of something. I'm sorry.
A present?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You should just give it to me anyway.
I'm going to.
Okay, cool. So if you're watching this and you're here for the Call of Duty giveaway, you would know if you watched that video that you need to watch one of these topics. So Andrew and I have put our minds together and we've created quite the show. I think this is going to be a great show.
It's definitely on a very big spectrum.
Yeah. Just if this was worth money, it would be worth money. Yep. But it's not worth money, so you don't have to even pay us for it. So you need to leave a comment on one of these three topics. So this is topic 1. Comes out today. Obviously, you're watching it. Topic 2 comes out Wednesday. Topic 3 comes out Friday. That's the case every other week. 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you have to leave a comment on one of these suggesting a topic for us to talk about.
Please give us ideas.
Oh, God. Yeah. We're running so low. No, just kidding.
I am.
I mean, the one that I suggested to you, I can come up with those level quality ones all day.
Well, me too, but like we need
to be up here.
I feel like we need like shock value or like clickbaity topics.
So guys, give us clickbait topics right now.
Please.
When I read these, I better be into it. So, Ange.
Yes.
We're going to talk about something to start off that is pretty darn popular and pretty relevant to the time that we're putting this out.
You stupid.
And if you're a Marvel fan or if you don't know anything about superheroes,
it's not stupid. It's just like it just needs to die.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
So let's talk about Justice League, and I want to center this topic around mainly why I'm very, very worried about Justice League.
Okay, hold on. I have to name them now.
Okay. Now we did a practice round, so Ange hopefully can get more of these than we thought. She couldn't get them to begin with. Go ahead, Ange.
Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Cyborg.
Yes, and he runs very fast.
The Flash.
Good. Oh, and actually, we missed one.
And Superman.
You already said Superman.
Shit.
He lives in the sea.
Aquaman is a part of...
Jason Momoa.
Okay.
So there's your 7. Unite the 7, they call it. Which is funny because... In fact, I believe they maybe even used that at some point for Justice League, Unite the 7, but the funny thing is Green Lantern's not in it, as we talked, and Superman is dead, and is only probably going to be in it a little bit, either in flashbacks or towards the end.
Okay, so now, I clearly am not a part of the Marvel Universe.
That's DC. So you're not part of both.
I'm not a part of both, not because I feel like I am too good for it and that I'm not interested.
Right.
The fact is, there's so many movies, so many comics, so much information and I don't even know where to start. So I bring this up because you just said that Superman is dead.
Yes. So he died in Batman versus Superman.
Okay, so my question is, you have all of these fucking movies. Yeah. They're all in the same universe, but do they happen chronologically, like the way, like,
well,
like Superman died.
Yes.
But so does that mean that
DC so far hasn't made too many? Well, firstly, they haven't made too many movies to even establish a mess up in the order. Now, a movie like were they talking about Marvel movies? There is a movie franchise.
I don't know the difference.
I don't think it's Marvel. That is really hard to assemble in one order. Marvel is not that bad. So maybe it's another one that I'm not even thinking of. DC, as we know it right now, only in this age, only has 4 movies. Man of Steel, which was the kickoff of DC movies. You
Iron
guess
Man.
Who that? No, this is DC. So it's one of the Justice League. Who would be called the Man of Steel?
Superman.
Okay, good. Superman. Then we had Batman versus Superman.
Yes.
Which was those two and Wonder Woman.
Okay, so how does the Dark Knight compare? Like,
Dark Knight's not part of it.
But it's Batman.
But that's Chris Nolan's world. So that's separate.
See, okay.
That's separate. So we got Superman, Then we got Batman vs Superman, or Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman. We got Suicide Squad.
Wait, so like production for Batman and like Christopher Nolan and stuff, like does he have to get the right? Obviously, he has to get the rights.
Yes,
and
he's also, I think, he has been watching over. He's some sort of not an executive role, but he does have a role in DC watching over this universe that they're creating.
Okay,
clearly they haven't given him that much power because he would have fixed it by now.
So it's not a DC movie, but since he has to get,
DC.
I was gonna say, so since DC. He has to get the rights,
yeah.
So why is it not?
It's over because that was just because they just wanted to give it to him. He does his Batman trilogy arc. It's got nothing to do with this. Just like the Green Lantern movie we're talking about, that is not part of this universe. That was supposed to be the kickoff of this, but it failed, so they had to reboot it.
But it is, though, because the character is a part of the universe.
But they just keep recycling. So, like, in 30 years, we'll probably get all the Marvel movies over again. Anyway, so you got those. You got Suicide Squad, which was pretty bad. You got you got Wonder Woman, which was very, very good.
Very good. Very long.
Now, the order, Man of Steel is first. The ending of Man of Steel kicks off Batman vs. Superman. Literally the ending. Bruce Wayne actually comes in as the end fight. It's actually kind of cool. He like drives up, and in the movie Batman vs. Superman, you get to see the ending of Man of Steel again.
That's Ben Affleck, right?
It's Ben Affleck. So those go pretty much in order. Suicide Squad is kind of right after that.
Okay.
So that's in order, and Wonder Woman took place
before
in World War I. So that's before.
Okay, and are all of these movies based on the comics, or do they just?
Yeah, they can do. They can mix in the like how Superman did happen in one of the comic.
Oh, so he really did die.
Has died before, but he's also come back like he will. So he'll be back. Okay. So they haven't really done that many movies to establish like a messed up order. Now the first problem, and this kind of leads right. This is a good segue. I'm glad you thought of this.
I told you I would have questions, and you were like, no questions.
The first problem I have with this movie is, I think, and by the way, none of this is probably like brand new information. First problem I have with this movie is they haven't established all the people yet. So you got in Justice League. Now, to their credit, Marvel didn't do that either. Marvel had Iron Man and Captain America and Thor. And then they did the Avengers.
Where does the
Hulk had not been introduced yet. Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, was in Iron Man 2, so you saw her before.
She was like a secondary character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner.
Okay.
He was not introduced. So half of them were not introduced yet by the time you had Avengers. So they didn't have their own individual movies.
But they're part of
the Avengers. So that's what I'm saying. They didn't establish them in their own. The only people that had their own movies before Avengers was Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. So you knew who they were pretty darn strongly.
So then in the Justice League,
they've only and Aquaman has not been introduced yet.
Yeah,
Aquaman gets a standalone movie next year. So this is the out of order thing. Okay. So we've only been
in the Flash too, right?
In the Flash and Cyborg.
Oh yeah.
So 3 of the 6 aren't, and Green Lantern's just like over there somewhere. 3 of the 6 have not been introduced yet, and they're main parts. And more frustratingly, they're all getting their own movies. Now, I think personally, if Justice League fails, which we'll talk about soon, if Justice League fails, Cyborg is not getting his own. Now, he will. Right now, in the timeline, he will get his own movie.
Right.
But if things keep falling apart, that's not going to happen. Flash, I would like to see an own movie for, and Aquaman comes out next year. So, I don't understand why, and I think that's the whole rushing part. It's them competing with Marvel. It's them trying to do their Avengers. But you don't have to rush, because here's the thing. You're not as good as Marvel. Everybody knows it. You should know it. And just take your time. Just start establishing your own stuff. Don't worry about what Marvel's doing. Do your own stuff, and you'll get there. Like, eventually you'll get there. But they're not. They're rushing. They did Man of Steel. They did Batman vs. Superman. They did Suicide Squad. That's kind of like this own unique project. That was a cool thought. They did Wonder Woman. Okay, you got 3. You got 3 down. The only good one, though. Now, Man of Steel, a lot of people half. Man of Steel was kind of received really well. Other people thought it wasn't so good. I thought it was good. I wouldn't say it was great. Wonder Woman was fantastic.
Take it or yeah.
Wonder Woman was fantastic. Now, I think that's another problem with Justice League is going to be Gal Gadot is going to do everything in her power to be good. And I hope that they know that they try and just give her as much screen time as possible, and maybe she'll save you. But she can't do it all by herself. Wonder Woman wasn't the really good film it was just because of her. Like, she had help. She's really good just in her own right. But Chris Pine was there.
With her?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's
so
adorable.
cute.
She'll
be our
so
next.
Cute.
She should mark it down. She'll be the next actor spotlight.
Oh my
I watched a whole
she's
20-minute thing of her and Chris Pine going. Oh my God.
Really?
She doesn't know like how to do phrases.
No, I saw her on Jimmy Fallon, and she ate a Reese's cup for the first time, and it was the cutest thing. I felt like I was watching like little like puppies, like just playing around in the grass. Like she's adorable.
She is.
But I actually have a question.
She was great going into Fast and Furious, by the way.
Wait, she really?
was in Fast 4, 5, 6, and they killed her because she was gonna
do Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and she was in a deleted scene of 7. Now, if they could find a way to bring her back from the dead, they don't need the help in Fast and Furious. That's an okay franchise, and that's got all your stars anyway. You don't need her back. But if they could, man, that'd be something. Get her back in there. Okay, you were saying your question.
Okay, so my question is the Green Lantern is a part of the Justice League, but they do not have Ryan Reynolds. So is it going to be someone else?
Maybe, may not be. Could be him. There has been talks that he was probably
I'm so
one
confused.
up. See, that would be messed up. I wouldn't want
this
Ryan.
Come out?
There was nothing like planned. There's like a rumored like maybe 2021 kind of film where it could be him. Yeah.
I feel like everyone's talking about it now. I felt
because of the Justice League.
Yeah, because I thought.
But like there, you know how they always like list out like 4 or 5 actors that are rumored for the role.
Yeah.
Like way before it even happens. Ryan Reynolds is actually one of them, and that would be totally bad.
Yeah.
Because
he's gonna.
But no, just from the standpoint of this is a new universe. This is their rebooted universe. He was Green Lantern back in like 2009.
Yeah, but Wonder Woman was.
Gal Gadot was not. This was the first time they did it. It's not like they used Christian Bale.
Yeah.
And had him be Batman again, because it's not the same Batman. These are different Batmans. So you can't have that Green Lantern be the same actor as this Green Lantern. The only time they did that is Ryan Reynolds again, which is actually funny because he's the only one who has done it before. Ryan Reynolds was Deadpool in Wolverine. And he was also Deadpool in Deadpool. And they were thinking they weren't going to do that because they're not the same Deadpool.
Did Wolverine come before Deadpool?
Yes, but that was a whole different storyline. And he actually killed Deadpool in that movie.
This caption should be teaching Justice League. Yeah.
But so they don't have a solid plan for how they're putting movies together because the characters haven't been established yet, and I get it. You don't have to establish all of them. But we've only seen about, and okay, here's the thing. We have seen Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman because they were in Batman vs. Superman. Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, she clicked a file and it opened up and it gave like a 20-second visual of those characters. So I've seen 20 seconds of Aquaman, 20 seconds of Flash. Now Flash was also in Suicide Squad for around 10.5 seconds. So I've seen, a solid 30 seconds of Flash.
Yeah, but
and I've seen a good 15 seconds of Cyborg.
Yeah, but if they're not planning on releasing this movie for another 3 years, they have time to make.
For what?
For Justice League.
Justice League comes out.
I literally
next week, or 2 weeks.
That's
asked Green Lantern.
Oh my God, I was so confused because there's been so many promotions for Justice League, and I'm like,
no, yeah, Justice League comes out in 2 weeks. That's what we're talking about.
And there's so much secrecy still now. Is that what you were saying? No. I'm so confused.
I'm saying that they are coming out with.
This is why I don't do comics.
I'm saying they're coming out with Justice League in 2 weeks.
Yes, but you
with
just
only
said...
with the only established characters being 3 of the 6.
Yes. Okay.
So one of my first issues with Justice League, worries going into it, is they have not shown us 3 of the 6.
Like characters, not actors.
Yeah, we know who they all are. Okay, we know they're all in there, but I don't know anything about these characters.
Okay, so who's playing the Green Lantern then?
He's not in it. Green Lantern.
But he's a part of the Justice League.
Yeah, but they don't have him, so they're not going to put him in this movie. Maybe. I
really hope someone's watching this just cracking up at the fact that I know nothing because this is
you would think
this is literally
you would think you would think this is an act, but no, she's
not.
Really this clueless. So I don't like how we're going into it not really knowing much about 3 of them because that means that I assume that half of Justice League is going to be explaining these 3 characters, getting us to know them.
Cyborg, the Flash, and
he lives in the sea.
Aquaman.
Yes.
And then you've got No, he's dead.
Well, Superman is That's okay. Superman's in it.
Okay.
But actually that's a good point. You really only have Batman and Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
and they're going to be the main stars.
And
then
then
you got this other 3 casts of misfits that are going to be thrown in. You got to make them blend. Superman's going to be in some capacity. We don't know how much.
And then Green
Probably
Lantern is just not even.
Don't even worry about Green Lantern.
That's so stupid.
So that's the first problem. And maybe the second one.
That's the first problem.
Well, not knowing the characters, Green Lantern not being in it.
Yeah.
If you've seen any of the trailers, it looks just like a CG mess, which is disappointing because, Batman vs. Superman was kind of all over the place. Its theme
That's what I heard.
Its tone and theme were pretty set. Like, it was very dark and like eerie and stuff, so I like that. Suicide Squad had a little bit too much graphics going into it that didn't always look right. But Justice League looks like just... Well,
trash.
We know this actually from like behind the scenes. It's just green screens, and it's just them in a studio. They're not actually out filming, so it's going to look fake.
I feel like it's gonna
look
suck.
fake a lot.
I feel like the movie is going to do well, like financially, because you've got Wonder Woman.
Maybe.
But I think like
the
reviews are gonna suck.
With films like this, word of mouth actually affects this. And I like talking about films making money too. Mm-hmm. You guys know that. But this, I think DC. Weirdly enough, DC has built up its reputation so badly that I think it's one of the ones that word of mouth actually does and can negatively impact it. Where Batman vs. Superman did make a lot of money. It made like $850 million.
So did Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad did make really a lot, like
well.
700. But it made okay. So Suicide Squad made like 700 million maybe in all, but its like its drop rate week to week was like one of the biggest ever of how badly it dropped. So like after the first week, word of mouth did make people say, "Oh, we're not seeing this," and it dropped.
Right.
Batman vs. Superman made 850 million. Easily was predicted and thought could reach over $1 billion, so it got stopped. Wonder Woman actually was the opposite. Wonder Woman started slow, but then you notice that every week, like it stayed very consistent.
Yeah, because we're in the age where woman empowerment and
which I mean,
and
I don't really care for that, or I don't want that like pushed to my face. But you do have the
because you're not a woman.
Because I'm not a woman, but you do have but it's not like I don't respect it. But you do have the simple fact that she is by far the best actor of those 6 if you count Superman, and she's also the best character. Wonder Woman's best character. So it'd be extremely smart of them if you have her as much as you possibly can.
I'm
sure.
I think that
she will be
and she's the only woman.
She's the only woman. Amy Adams she'll be in it a little bit, but I doubt that much.
Why?
She's I don't even remember her name. She's Clark Kent's
girlfriend.
Don't remember her name.
I don't know.
All of a sudden. Big DC fan here. Now, I like DC, and I want this to do good. That's another thing. I'm not, like, picking on this. Mm-hmm. I want this to do good.
Yeah, but you are skeptical.
But just slowly, it's getting very skeptical. It's only 2 hours. Now, we talked earlier, we thought it was way longer. 2 hours is kind of on the other side of the spectrum, though, where it's like, this is a movie that has 6 characters in it. 5. Big characters. You have to unite them.
Okay,
you have to get them all to...
If it's 6 characters in 2 hours, how many...
20 minutes each.
20 minutes each. Sure.
Yeah. So if you don't count Superman, it's around. It's a little bit better. But but it's not it's not as clean cut as that.
Oh,
right?
of
You
course.
have to,
yeah. Definitely.
You do have to introduce them, but then you have to get them all to come together.
Yeah, and
they'll
you
probably
have
like a conflict of interest at some point.
Obviously.
There's a villain that they have to fight.
Who's the villain?
Darkseid. Please tell me if I got that right.
I asked.
Or is it Steppenwolf? Oh God. Don't care. Don't really know. All I want to see is a movie that has character and shows me that they're trying and shows me that they have a bigger picture in mind, not that they're going one film at a time. See, Marvel knows where it's going, and you could tell that from the very first time. You could really see the blueprint. In this one, it seemed. I mean, they did this is the continuation of Batman vs. Superman. Superman's dead. How do we deal with that? Batman had a vision of this end of times scenario, which is what happens in this movie, and so he has to unite a group of heroes to stop his vision from coming true. Okay, you followed it pretty well. You kept the plot going, but you have a lot to cover.
Right.
Not a lot of time. Looks like a CG mess, which tells me that there might be a lot of action, which is cool, but it's a CG mess.
I was gonna say.
And if there's a lot of action, you don't get a lot of character development.
Yeah.
But if there's a lot of character development, you don't get a lot of... And if there's a lot of character development and Cyborg and Flash, who I'm most worried about those two, they suck. If they suck, Now, I like Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller is Credence in... Flash is Credence in... you didn't watch Fantastic Beasts?
Oh.
Flash is in that. He's one of the main characters.
Oh.
Now, he's pretty good. He's a pretty decent actor.
Oh, wait, no, I know that guy.
Like really skinny and like...
Yeah.
Weird looking, yeah. So...
No, I do know him.
I like him. He's decent. I'm
feel
really
like
worried about Cyborg because he's done absolute... Like, it's just a brand new actor. No
Who's
one's
the
ever...
actor?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Brand new. Like, he's done nothing of significance. Jason Momoa, I like. Seems like they're trying to make Aquaman this comedy role, which is weird because I thought Flash should probably be that. That kind of is what Flash is. So I'm very worried about Cyborg and Flash. Because Flash, I think, could be good, but I think they could ruin him. And Cyborg is just totally a wild card. Like, he could be awful. Jason Momoa, I think, is fine. Ben Affleck as both Bruce Wayne and Batman, I like. I like him more as Batman. And then you don't even have to worry about it. Just put Gal Gadot in the corner.
Oh, yeah. No,
call
she's
it safe.
fine.
Call it safe. So
she's so good.
There's a lot to be worried about. There's a lot of mistakes that can be made. It is coming 2 weeks after Thor comes out. Thor Ragnarok comes out today that we're recording. So Justice League comes out 2 weeks after. Does Thor impact its sales? Probably not as much if it was coming out like a week in between. But, it still could significantly. It needs to make a lot of money. Because if it doesn't make a lot of money... And this is the other thing. The future of DC is nowhere near as clear as like I said, Marvel. When you know like you're gonna get this solo film and this, like we know we're getting a Black Panther and we know we're gonna get another Spider-Man and we know all this kind of stuff. In DC, they're toying around with a solo Batman film, but then it got then the director got fired. Then Ben Affleck was supposed to be the director. Then he wasn't. Then he was. Then he wasn't. Who's the villain for that? Is that even part of the DC world? Then they started talking about, like, is that movie even part of this thing they're doing?
Right.
Wonder Woman 2 is confirmed that's happening. Yeah. That's great. See, I feel like Wonder Woman is the only one they have a clue what they're doing. Wonder Woman 1, or Batman vs. Superman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Wonder Woman 2. Like, they have her planned out. Is there a Flash movie? Is the Flash movie, because Flash can go back in time and change things. And they're talking about maybe how they can make the Flash movie... Potentially, if this movie sucks, Justice League sucks, and it makes them no money, the Flash movie, there's a thing called Flashpoint, where he goes back in time, and he changes all these events. That could actually be, very smartly, their reboot.
Yeah.
Because then they can come back and say, Ben Affleck's not Batman anymore, it's somebody else.
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool.
But, then what do you, then the sad part is,
I
like Ben Affleck,
you have
but
no
character development. You lose Gal Gadot, so you would only have her for, like, the 4 films she used. And so, like, if you're going to reboot it, you're going to have to replace all these actors that you kind of already have. Henry Cavill as Superman, pretty good actor. You'd have to recast them all.
Yeah.
So you're losing, like, good performances by these... all because people in charge that are planning the future don't know what they're doing.
Right.
But, again, like, Aquaman, who knows how good that movie is? I don't know. Flash, is that movie even going to... like, it kept getting pushed back. Cyborg, I don't care. I don't think anybody would see a Cyborg film, to be honest. Justice League was supposed to be a part 1, part 2. Now it's just this, and then they don't know if they're making it part 2.
Oh, so
is this going to signal? Is it going to end in a cliffhanger where we know there'll be a part 2? Mm-hmm. Maybe, hopefully, because then it at least proves that they know they want at least they're going to try to go somewhere with this afterwards, right?
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. When do you introduce Green Lantern?
I don't know.
When do you do? They're going to have a Man of Steel 2, and they're going to have another Superman standalone film. So,
this makes my head spin.
Where do all these fit? How will all these work? Does the failure of Justice League literally make DC just say, all right, we're done. You never have to worry about that with Marvel because they always make a lot of money. They always do successful. But DC, it's like if Justice League fails, when you're bringing all these young kids don't really care about anything we're saying. Young kids are going to see it. But if it still does bad, then you got to think, all right, if bringing all these heroes together doesn't work, how can a Cyborg standalone film work? It won't. How can no one's going to see that. No one's going to see Flash. No one's going to see Aquaman. Mm-hmm. Maybe people are so tired of DC they don't even see Wonder Woman 2.
Where does Ant-Man fall?
He's in Marvel.
Okay.
Right,
Paul Rudd. Yeah, I just needed to know that.
He's great. But it just sucks. It sucks that Wonder Woman is the only good character they've ever made. It sucks that it's the only good movie they've made so far. Really good. Some people like Man of Steel. I don't really care. So, yeah. I mean, we're going to see. I'm going to see Justice League. Tyler's going to see it. We're going to review it. Oh, boy, it'll be interesting. We're going to have a preview of Justice League this week. where we'll talk a little bit more about this stuff, not in this long of a detail, but this were kind of just my word. In that one, we'll kind of just summarize the film. So yeah, I'm worried. I'm not going in like with a negative mind. I'm gonna go in and be like, all right, this.
You're just gonna be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm not gonna go in saying, okay, this is gonna suck, because if you do, that definitely can definitely can impact it.
Yep.
So and I feel like a lot of people will. Movie reviewers do that often, where some article or some websites that just bag on things will probably already have the review written, and they'll just swap out a few words once they see it. So there's nothing you can do about that, but I hope it does well. I hope it does well because I want it to do well. I want to see a good film. I want to see these. Cool
I
heroes.
want it to do well for you.
Yeah, I want it to do well for collective fans.
And
I want to do it for DC fans.
Everywhere.
So that we can continue with the DC film franchise. Because it'll continue. DC will continue.
It doesn't
It'll
matter
just have
how,
to hit the reboot
how
afterwards.
bad their movies they'll just keep going.
You should be rooting for it because if it fails, they'll have to do this all over again, and that's what you hate the most about these things.
Yeah, it's
you
just
hate like the repetitive thing, which
is
what they
beating
would.
a dead horse, like, ugh.
So, let us know in the comments below what you guys think of Justice League. Remember, that doesn't count for the giveaway. For the giveaway, you have to actually comment a topic suggestion.
Yes, please.
That we'll be using. We'll be using all of them. Any ones that are good. I mean, if you do a stupid one, like what's your favorite tablecloth? Could be one, but odds are it won't.
I'm thinking of it right now, but
that's a topic?
No, it's not.
Coming at you on Wednesday. Just kidding. All right. See you for topic 2 on Wednesday.